Hey, what's going on, guys? This is George with Fighters Rep, and this is my Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz reaction post fight. First off, I want to say that I really appreciate everything Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell did for the sport. They were pioneers in the sport, and I appreciate their competitive spirit. Tito Ortiz is 43 years old, Chuck Liddell is 48 years old. They still look in great shape, especially Tito. They still obviously have a burning desire to compete, and I can't knock them. I can't knock them for that. But should this fight have happened at this point in their careers and at this point where the sport is? And my belief to that question, my answer to that question is no. I think that this fight should not have been made. I think that this fight, even though it got the public talking about MMA a little bit, overall could have been there could have been a very scary outcome. Chuck Liddell had not fought in 8 years, and the last three fights he did have, he was stopped in devastating fashion. He was put out, and it was just in violent, horrific fashion to the point where, Dana White and the UFC felt like this guy should not be fighting. And Dana White, I mean, if you ask me, seems to be a person who cares about Chuck Liddell. They have a good relationship. So for him not to want Chuck Liddell to fight, for me, spoke volumes about where Chuck was in his career. The other reason I think this fight should not have happened is because Tito Ortiz was relatively active. He had just fought the last time in 2017 and beat Chael Sonnen in Bellator. Whether you agree as to what happened to that fight or not, he beat Chael Sonnen in 2017 and has been relatively active. Now, my biggest problem with the fight that I just witnessed was that Chuck seemed to pick up where he left off, and that's not a good thing. He was put out 3 times in a row in violent fashion the last 3 times he came out. Tonight he came out. He went against a guy in Tito Ortiz who's not known for his knockout power on the feet by any means. He got hit with a cross tonight, all right? We're not talking about a hook. We're not talking about an uppercut. We're not talking about a brutal overhand right. We're talking about a 1-2. And on the 2, when that cross landed, it didn't wobble Chuck. It wasn't a TKO stoppage where the referee jumped in because, he was sort of out of it or wobbling. No. He got put out by that cross. I mean, when that thing connected, his body went limp and went crashing to the ground. And it was sad to watch, and his arm, I mean, he had lost complete control of his body when that punch landed, and his arm landed all like weird over his head. I mean, you can tell it just looked like a crash test dummy, sort of falling lifelessly to the ground, and it could have resulted in something disastrous. And it looks like in the post-fight press conference, he's talking about he felt good out there and he had fun and we'll see what we're going to do in the future. But I really don't think that he has any reason to be fighting anymore. I don't think he has a point to prove anymore. I think maybe somebody should probably sit down with him and let him know that, hey, you're a pioneer of the sport. You can still contribute in other ways. You can be a coach. You can be an analyst, do something else. But I don't think this fight should have been made. Primarily, again, because he just wasn't in the right shape, having been out of the ring for 8 years, no matter what he did. Being out of the ring for 8 years against a guy who's been fighting, being 48 years of age, having been stopped 3 times in a row in violent fashion. It all came to a head tonight when he was stopped again in violent fashion. So I don't think the fight should have been made. And I also think that, while I respect and I think we should honor these pioneers of the MMA world, I think more of an investment should have been made into some younger fighters, especially here in California. As a promoter myself, I think we have the best talent in the world here in California. It's just the way it is. And if they're not from here, they're flying here to train, a la Habib and DC and these other guys. So for me, I feel like a better way for Golden Boy to kind of have opened the door here would have been to probably invest more in some of the younger fighters. I mean, I understand and respect what they did, but it's just not something I would have done. So that's my thoughts on the fight, on the entire situation as a whole. I'd like to see more investment in the young fighters and in the incredible talent pool we have here. Tell me what you guys think. I look forward to hearing what your thoughts are on this fight. Also, please be sure to click the affiliate links below, the Blackout Fight Gear link. They make all the real, genuine gear for the IKF and for Camo. So basically, guys competing in MMA and kickboxing and Muay Thai, any gear you need, I've got it down below in the link. Definitely also be sure to check out the Bluehost link down below. They're an affiliate of ours. If you click it, we get credit. They host our website. They do a great job, so I definitely recommend them. And finally, be sure to click the link below and get you some Fighters Rep merchandise. You won't regret it. Anything you spend on these fantastic t-shirts, tank tops, or hoodies is going to be reinvested back into the fight game. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I look forward to hearing your thoughts, and rather reading your thoughts. Hey knuckleheads, be sure to smash that like button, comment and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to continue to support Fighters Rep.